Hello there, I'm Erin. This is Boom Bust, and these are the global financial stories impacting your world today. Now, to talk about China, Wang Guan is on the show. Guan is the chief political correspondent at CCTV America, and we started off by discussing the tensions brewing between the U.S. and China over the South China Sea. China says its infrastructure projects there are for ordinary use in order to facilitate navigation and other services. However, the U.S. disagrees. So I first asked Guan to give us the Chinese perspective on proprietorship of the islands that make up the South China Sea. Here's what he had to say.
I think a knowledge of the past is crucial for understanding of the present. China has a historical basis to claim that island. Actually, that is a legacy of World War II. After the war, Japan returned all those islands, and Shisha Island and Nansha Island, to China. The UK, the US, Russia, all agreed upon it, the Allied forces. So as early as 1947, China published this 9-dotted line that claimed the territory that it claims today. Nobody disputed it. And now China is the world's second largest economy, and all of a sudden, some countries might or may not be emboldened by the U.S. pivot to Asia, and they're making an issue out of it and calling out China. So China basically thinks that it is the U.S. who's stirring up the tension in the region. When Washington have 500 or over 500 times a year surveillance, reconnaissance missions, just 200 kilometers off the island of Hainan, China is upset about it. And we think that it is Pentagon that is stirring up the tension, and they should pay attention to historical perspectives.
It's great to hear this side of the story because obviously you see a lot of Western media, and this isn't really what you're going to be getting most of the time. But I want to ask you, what about the other Asian countries that are vying for these islands? You have Vietnam, you have the Philippines. Do you think that it's the U.S. kind of corralling them to fight for this?
I think to a large extent, yes. I mean, the United States has been urging China to resort the disputes to international law and through multilateral mechanisms, and namely the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. But what's funny, Erin, is the United States of America is not even a signatory, did not even sign or ratify that very convention that it urges China to observe. So I don't think what is the moral authority of a country that urges others to pay attention to a law it itself did not ratify? So yes, there are overlapping claims. So I think that takes bilateral diplomatic approaches to solve this issue peacefully.
Do you think that we will see that?
I think that we'll see that. Here you hear a lot of noises about, oh, China is being aggressive or starting a war. Don't forget, Erin, the last time China was in a war was in the late 1970s. So it took China 35, 40 years to start a war. How many years does it take for the U.S. to start a war? So I think some worries, some concerns are not grounded, and I don't think there should be a concern for any military conflict. No, I don't think so.